Hello, everybody. Dave Clark from InspectCheck-net. Today, I had a request to talk about surge protectors, and not just the little ones that you plug your computer or devices into, but ones that actually are whole house surge protectors. So let's, first of all, and I think they're great. I know that just about every new build that we look at has them. Many municipalities now, it's code. I think it's a good idea to do that. So let's take a look at we'll look at a modern one, and then we'll look at an older one. How's that? And here is the modern one. And yeah, I was doing a training earlier, and unfortunately, this guy is not protected. But anyway, very simple, and you're going to see that a couple of things. First of all, what does a surge do, a surge protector? It helps with if there's a lightning strike, maybe a down power line, a surge in the main electric service, you know, from the utility company, blackout, and then it's reinstated the power. Again, like I said, lightning strike. Large appliances in the house itself can cause that cycling on and off. They can cause that surge to happen. So anything like that, anything with a voltage strike or anything could cause a surge, and it could cause damage, especially to sensitive appliances. We always have our computers and things plugged in. So like I said, most new builds have these installed like this. I'll show you older ones or retrofit ones that are still fine, but these are what you normally see. So what is it? It's a double pole, right? There's no handle on it. Obviously, you can't really turn it on and off, and it's grabbing both sides. So it's grabbing this side and this side. So 240 volts, 120 on each side. And we have the hots here, obviously making that connection to that Z bar, right? And then we have the neutral, and this one's going to be, there's nothing here, but this neutral goes to the neutral, and in a main service panel, we know that the neutral bus or lug and the ground lug or bus are bonded. So that's going to drive it right to ground. And so what it basically does is if it senses a surge in the power source, it'll send it or block it and send that current right to ground, protecting the box. So it's a good thing to have. You know, we recommend that it's that everybody has that. If it doesn't have it, I don't go out of my way to say you should put it in, but I think it's a good idea anyway. Couple of things to note. This one makes it nice and easy for us as home inspectors because the green light is on, and that tells us that it's protected. No light, replace. Again, you don't need to be a home inspector to figure that out. The other thing is, where do they want this? Most manufacturers want this as close to the main service disconnect or main power as possible, okay? Close to the power line. So you'll see in this case, it's cut off, but our main lugs are up here, you know, and that's where we want it, as close as possible. We really don't want it all the way down. Will it still work? Yes, but this is where the manufacturer recommends that it is as close to the main power source as possible. So I'm going to show you another one. This is a newer, or I'm sorry, that's a newer one. This is an older one. And let me grab that here. So I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it without leaving the screen. Okay, here it is. And it's externally located here, and just put a knockout. They just knocked the knockout out and ran it in. If you look, you're going to see 3 lines coming in, and the white or the neutral, here it is, and that's going to go right to, I don't have it in this picture, but that goes right to the neutral lug and or ground, because this is a main service. Again, here's our main power coming in here. So there's a main service disconnect somewhere else. And this technically is a sub panel, right? But if we look, you're going to see, and I'll do it in, let me do it in this bright color here. Here they are. Here are the 2 lines coming up. And this goes in here, and this goes, now it has to go into a double pole breaker, right? So the retrofit ones, you'll just use a regular breaker, a 15 or 20th. And I don't think it really matters what size. Take a look at what the manufacturer recommends. I think that's the way to look. I've seen them in all different size breakers. So it would be just a regular double pole breaker. The issue I have, and I'm going to undo this with this particular one, is this one's fine, but somehow or another they've they multiple tapped it here. They don't like that. That's the first problem I see with this. The second problem is, again, we want the surge protection to be as close to the main line. So it really should be here. Okay. And there's another video here on quad breakers, and that might be something that they could do. Put a quad breaker in here, which would take up the spot, give them their two 240 volt circuits, and then put the surge right here. This is where the surge protector should be. I don't like to see anything multiple tapped like that. I don't think that's an approved multiple tap or multiple lug, whatever you want to call it. I don't like that. So in this case, I would call that out as an issue. The first one's fine. And you could make a note that there's a surge protector there. A lot of people have no idea what that is anyway. But it's, again, a home inspection is a learning experience, and that would be something to explain to them. But in this case, again, don't like the double tap. Don't like that it's not first in line. Not a big deal, right? At least they have something. But simply, how would we report that? And that's going to be real easy. So we're going to come here to our report. We're going to go to our electric system. And I'll probably go right to service panels, or we can go to wiring, wherever you like it. And the main service is in the basement. We can mark that complete. Or actually, in this case, I think it was outside, because that's really a sub panel. And this is a sub panel location. That would be the basement, right? Sub panel, there's circuit breakers. And I would say in this case, let's say the whole panel is fine, right? So a lot of times we just put down what's wrong. So I would put, most areas. So we're just going to assume that I didn't inspect it with you. I mean, maybe there's something there, but I'm just using this scenario. Most areas, and then I would write see below. Okay. And we're going to come down here, and below is here. So I would go right here, unsatisfactory connections, improper wiring, recommend these areas are evaluated, recommend to updating to a common trip. This was one we were working on. So let me go right here. This is what it actually is going to say. Recommend these areas be evaluated and repaired by a licensed electrician. And I would put surge protector wiring. Done. That's all you need, because we don't want the homeowner to do this anyway, right? So we want the electrician to take care of that. So all we're saying is the surge protector should be wired properly. And if you wanted to continue on and put move to first position, again, we really don't want to do that. Slash double tapped or lugged. I usually use lugged, but okay, and that's it. That's all you would need to write. Very simple. So a surge protector, a whole house surge protector, protects everything in the house from, like we said, a surge would be caused by anything: appliances, cycling, a lightning strike, power going on and off, down power lines, all those things. And that's what it's there for. So if it's there, it's great. It's I don't consider it a defect if one is not in. You might recommend to all your clients that a surge protector is installed. I think that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I would say that in houses older than maybe 5 or 8 years old, it's hit and miss. But I would say that the newer homes all have them. At least the ones that we see, probably in the last 4 or 5 years at least, they all have surge protectors. I think it's a good idea to have it. And so that's how it's wired. Make sure we have, let me just go back to that. Make sure we have both. I don't really need to go back, but make sure we have 2 hots, 1 on each leg, connected either through a double pole breaker or through the surge protector itself, if it comes that way. And then the neutral goes to the neutral lug and or ground lug, which are going to be bonded or joined in a main service panel, which will bring any surge, anything like that right to ground. So very simple to install, very simple for us to inspect, but it's very important, and something that I strongly recommend for all my clients, especially in newer houses, and if they update their service, for sure. So thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. And this was done by a request from somebody. So anytime you have requests or something like that you'd like me to go over, I've got thousands of pictures and videos over the years, and I probably have that scenario. If not, we could find one. I'd be happy to do that. So hit the subscribe button, You'll be the first one to get the videos that come out. Also, you can go to homeinspectortrainingonline.com, and there's more links there and white papers and links to some of these videos too. And see you next time.